Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the theory of Rachel's revenge, which takes place in the games of Life is Strange. The reason as to why it could be labelled as her revenge is because she was missing for 6 months and the town started to give up on her disappearance. Everyone but Chloe. The storm started to build up when Chloe escaped death, linking this to the theory that I would like to talk about, which is Chloe was able to dodge her fate of death due to Max's powers, but Rachel doesn't since her fate is already sealed. No matter how many times or how far back Max turns back time, Rachel is still dead and there is no saving her. Now looking at Rachel's death, she died on the 22nd of April 2013, or at least we can assume this from her missing posters all around Arcadia Bay, as well as the end scene in the game Before the Storm, where we see her phone in the dark room with many missed calls from Chloe. It is soon revealed that Rachel Amber was a victim of her teacher Mark Jefferson. Mark Jefferson was a famous photographer. He was famous for his tortured images of his victims, or at least we didn't know that they were victims at the time. Jefferson would drug, kidnap and photograph these young girls. He did this as a way of capturing the vulnerability in the moment. Jefferson reveals that Nathan Prescott had given Rachel an accidental overdose. Rachel's disappearance shocked the small town of Arcadia Bay. Most people assumed that she ran away without leaving a note, but Chloe was determined to find out what really happened to her. Looking at the alternate timeline, where Chloe's dad is alive, we can see that Rachel's name is in the newspaper, and it states that she is missing.
They could have ended up vanishing out of the blue like that girl from Blackwell. You mean Rachel Amber? When was the last time you talked to her? Never. I just read about her in the news. I didn't even know her name.
This shows us that even in a different timeline, she still dies, and there is no saving her. We can link this to Chloe and how she was supposed to die in the bathroom when Nathan Prescott shot her. As well as in the alternate timeline, Chloe was dying and she didn't have long left to live. Looking into the Vortex Club at Blackwell Academy, the club was originally created for those who didn't fit in with society's norms, such as being a punk, goth, having dyed hair. In the game Before the Storm, the Vortex Club seemed to have kept its original state as an anti-bullying club. But over time, it slowly formed into this high elitist group, where the popular kids have control over what happens and who gets to attend the club.
Sorry, Max. Vortex Club members only.
Sorry, I'm on the guest list.
I'm taking you off.
Some students in Blackwell tried to gain kudos from the members of the club, so they could get something in return, such as gaining certain benefits from the group.
Join us, or die.
There is no known leader of the group, but it is clear that Victoria Chase or Nathan Prescott have the most control. Looking into the symbolism of the Vortex Club, the word vortex can be linked to the weather, and how the story of Life is Strange is also centered around a tornado. The symbol the club uses is a spiral, and that can be connected to the shape of a tornado and how it typically moves. Another connection is that a tornado often pulls you in and spits you out, leaving you in worse condition than you started in. This can show us how toxic the Vortex Club has become. With the popular students taking over the group, they lure you in and make a fool out of you. This happened to the student Kate Marsh, who attended one of the parties and she was drugged. Kate was then bullied for the way she acted while under the influence. We soon find out that she was a victim of Mark Jefferson. There are theories that the victims of the dark room are chosen at these Vortex Club parties, since Rachel attended one of their parties and died a month later. The party she attended took place on the 28th of March 2013. At that party, it is revealed that she met Mark Jefferson and he had promised her a life of fame and she trusted his words. Another thing is that Nathan Prescott is a known member of the Vortex Club and he works under Jefferson. We also know that he was the one that overdosed Rachel Amber. Another connection with Rachel Amber and the Vortex Club is that one of the posters for their party mimics an image of Rachel Amber's dead body. The body on the poster was made up of spirals. With that, it could foreshadow that Rachel Amber is the storm that takes place in episode 5 of Life is Strange. Looking a little bit more into the game Before the Storm, Rachel Amber starts a forest fire after finding out her father is having an affair. Rachel lights a photo of her and her father together, dropping it into a trash can at a nature park. A sudden burst of anger leads her to kick over the bin and a fire spreads almost immediately. She then proceeds to scream at the scene, and strong currents of wind pick up behind her and travels in the direction of her screaming. Fans often use the scene to link it to Rachel's revenge, which is a tornado, but the directors have said that the scene isn't supposed to hint towards anything. When Rachel screams at the fire, her scream sounds as if it's a mix between her voice and a raven's voice, giving us this connection between Rachel and the nature around her. Now, looking at Rachel's involvement with The Tempest. Rachel was a lead in her school play of Shakespeare's The Tempest. She played as Prospero, changed to Prospera in Before the Storm, who is a powerful sorcerer that can conjure up storms whenever he pleases. In the play written by Shakespeare, Prospero created a tempest that trapped a boat which contained his brother on board. Using the theory that if Rachel is a storm, then she is aware of who is going to be affected by the damage. Chloe was very special to Rachel, as Rachel was to Chloe. She must have known that Chloe would either be dead or alive during the storm. In one timeline, during the storm, Chloe was shot by Jefferson, and in another timeline, Chloe is alive and she is able to escape Arcadia Bay with Max Caulfield. With this, Chloe wouldn't have been affected by Rachel's revenge, since she would be dead like her, or she would be alive, making her escape from Arcadia Bay. Many believed Rachel and Chloe to be soulmates, especially after the game Before the Storm, with the way the two connected and bonded with one another. Rachel could be upset that her soulmate was able to escape the death she suffered. In the game, Chloe and Rachel get pulled into the principal's office and he finds a punishment for the two for skipping class. Principal Wells gives Chloe a suspension, and for Rachel, he takes her out of the play. With Chloe's backtalk, you were able to get Rachel Amber her role back in the play, but it means that Chloe will be expelled from Blackwell Academy. If Rachel got back her role in the play, then Victoria Chase, who was her understudy, will attempt to drug her drink. Chloe notices this act, and you have a choice of calling out Victoria or telling Rachel secretly what she did to her drink. But if Rachel was pulled from the play, then Victoria will get the role. Chloe will talk Victoria out of performing on stage. Either way, Rachel will play the part in The Tempest, and there is no stopping her. During the game of Life is Strange, Max tries everything to prevent a tornado from happening, but she can't do anything until a storm has actually hit the town. Looking into Rachel Amber's spirit animals, I believe that she has 3. We know that Rachel is the doe that guides Max through her vision of the storm that happens at the end of episode 1 of Life is Strange. This can be more proof that it is her revenge on Arcadia Bay, since the doe leads her to the top of the hill and towards a post where a newspaper is caught on it. On the newspaper is the date of the storm.
October 11th? Is this Friday? That's only 4 days away.
This could be Rachel warning Max and giving her time to escape Arcadia Bay when she has the chance, since Rachel never got that privilege. In this vision, Max is able to rewind time, and we figure this out when she continues to walk up the hill to the lighthouse. Rocks and trees fall in her pathway, potentially injuring her if she didn't have the ability to rewind time. Also, Max's rewind powers don't work on a doe. This could link to how Rachel Amber is dead no matter the timeline or how far back Max turns back time. In episode 2 of Life is Strange, when Max finds Rachel's letter to Chloe, we see a doe stood above where Rachel is buried. This foreshadows where they find her body, as well as Rachel's spirit watching over Max in that scene. This can also foreshadow that Max is going to be Jefferson's next victim of the dark room. In episode 4, when they uncover Rachel's body, the doe fades from view. This could be Rachel being at peace with her body being found, and she has served her purpose with giving Chloe the answers of what really happened to her. Rachel's spirit animal could also be the blue jay. In the game of Life is Strange, the blue jay represents death, and we are first introduced to the bird in Chloe's house. Max finds the bird after it flew into a window, and you can use her rewind power to save the blue jay, or you can just leave it. If you choose to save the small bird, then it spends the next couple of days flying around her house. The bird can die again, as it's trying to leave the house by flying into the window. Again, Max can use her rewind power to save the bird. This clearly links more to Chloe, since we can actually prevent her death many different times. The blue jay could also represent that no matter how many times you try to save it, it will always find a way of dying. The blue jay can be a symbol of death, and it is believed to often travel to the land of the dead. Rachel could connect to this since her spirit has been seen throughout the game of Life is Strange, through the doe but possibly through more animals. Rachel Amber is well known for wearing her iconic blue jay feather earring. This could also be a link with Chloe and how the two are forever connected through life and death. Lastly, looking into the blue butterfly and how it could potentially be her spirit animal. The blue butterfly can be seen as a potent symbol for those big and change. This ties in really well with Rachel Amber, since she was the big change in Arcadia Bay with her disappearance shocking the town. The butterfly can also be seen as interruption of pattern. We can apply this to the darkroom victims and how Rachel was the only victim that we know of to have died. Butterflies can also be seen as messengers from the dead. The first time we see the butterfly is in a bathroom moments prior to Chloe's death. If it was Rachel's spirit in a scene, then it can show us how she was this catalyst for the whole story and how it will start and end with her. Looking into the theory of Rachel giving Max her powers, it could be a good theory since some things do add up.
Ready for the mosh pit, Shaka Bra. Maybe not.
Starting off with the opening scene of Life is Strange, Max has a vision of the storm that takes place over Arcadia Bay. She then witnesses Chloe's death in the school bathrooms minutes after this vision. This could be Rachel showing Max what would happen if she were to prevent Chloe's death, but Max wouldn't have understood why she had that vision, not until it's too late. Another thing is that Rachel could have given Max those powers to help Chloe figure out what really happened to her. This gives Max a chance after finding out what really happened to Rachel Amber to revert time back to normal, letting the universe play out its original plan for Chloe, or to leave Arcadia Bay safely, like Chloe always wanted for her and Rachel. Either way, Rachel would get her justice, but at the price of innocent lives being taken away. For example, sacrificing Arcadia Bay, in which hundreds if not thousands of people die for the price of one person, who is Chloe Price. Or the choice of sacrificing Chloe. She dies not knowing what happened to Rachel Amber. Each situation is dark and morbid, but it's down to the player, and this action will have consequences for the other Life is Strange games you play. Trying to figure out how Max gained her powers is a tricky thought. I've looked into some fan theories. One theory was posted under the username SkyBlueJack on Reddit. They responded to a post asking why Max got her powers. Their reply said, "I think it must have something to do with Seattle. That's the only common denominator between Max and Daniel beside the powers. Also, the powers seem to come out in stressful moments. With Max it's Chloe's death, and with Daniel it's his dad's death." To which I agree. I believe that their powers came out at a time when they needed them most. Max's power was able to save Chloe's life, and Daniel's ended the life of his father's killer. With Max saving Chloe's life, she was able to find out what happened to Rachel Amber, whereas Daniel was able to use his powers in self-defense or to benefit his own choices in life. Now,
Rachel's revenge.
this is what most people believe to be the tornado that takes place in episode 5 of Life is Strange. I believe the storm is Rachel, and partially the consequences of Max using her power. Firstly, focusing on what the fans think. They believe that the storm is Rachel Amber's wrath for the injustice done to her and also Chloe when she got shot in the bathroom. This theory is then backed up, with Rachel playing the part of Prospera, who conjures up a tempest as a form of revenge. Although this theory doesn't make sense if you choose to sacrifice Chloe, saving Arcadia Bay, then in the sequel Life is Strange 2, the storm never happened. The evidence for this theory points towards Chloe being dead, which further implies that the storm happens when you're keeping her alive. Another thing is that Rachel wouldn't want to harm Chloe or want any revenge on her, since the two were very close and had plans for the future together. But this is where I talk about my theory, and that is, Chloe was able to escape her fate of death multiple times, whereas Rachel remains dead in all timelines, no matter how far back in time Max goes. Going into more detail for my theory, the vision that Max saw before she witnesses Chloe's death in the bathroom could have been a warning, showing her what would happen if you chose to save her life. The second time Max gets this vision is at the end of episode 1, where she is being guided by a doe. This can show us that it could be Rachel's revenge, since she was given Max many hints about the storm, such as in this particular vision, Max sees the date of the storm, and this could be Rachel giving Max a warning. Another thing is that Chloe dies multiple times throughout the game, and she was destined to die when she did. This can be proven in the alternate timeline, with how she is dying and she doesn't have long left to live. Also, Rachel Amber is dead in this timeline as well. This can be Rachel's revenge, since she is still dead and she cannot be brought back. Another thing is that the town slowly gave up on finding her after her disappearance, everyone but Chloe. Now, if we apply the theory that Rachel gave Max her powers, then she would know that Chloe would live no matter what, since she can rely on Max to keep her alive through her rewind powers. But again, Rachel wouldn't come back from the dead, since her fate is already sealed in the universe. So say that Rachel knows that Chloe will survive her run-ins with death, then she'll be able to get her revenge on Arcadia Bay for failing her. Also, if you apply the rules with Max's powers and how they cause a storm, how come nothing major happened in Life is Strange 2 with Daniel's powers? Major as in natural disaster major. Using this, it can point more towards the theory of the tornado being Rachel Amber. It also makes some sense, since the games are hinting that she has a strong connection with the nature around her, especially in that scene where she screams at the forest fire. Overall, I believe that the tornado is Rachel Amber, since she never had the privilege to escape death, hence why it's called Rachel's Revenge. That was my theory on Rachel's Revenge. Thank you for watching.